Hello everyone, thank you for joining me for another Good Kelly Bushcraft video. Today I'm going to be going for a bit of a walk around the local woods, and I'll be giving you just a quick introduction to the fauna and flora of northern Lapland. The forest here consists mainly of downy birch and Scots pine. Both of these trees have more uses than you could possibly imagine, from making tar, for treating woodwork, construction. The inner bark of the pine tree has been eaten in times of famine. Birch, obviously an excellent fire lighter. The bark of bigger trees can be used for a roofing material. Ground layer consists of mosses, lichens, reindeer poo. We have bilberries, lingonberries, a whole host of different berries. Here we have a wood ant nest. These guys are just waking up after a long winter. If you can see them there, they are edible. But they contain a lot of exoskeleton and not all that much nutrition. Far better are the eggs. The taste of vinegar. The eggs can be harvested by throwing the contents of the nest onto a tarp, and the ants will carry the eggs to a fold in the tarp to protect them from the sunshine. This works on a sunny day. It's also very destructive, but as if you're hungry and you need sustenance, then it's a good survival technique. Here we have witch's beard, another favourite food of the reindeer. Like the reindeer moss. Reindeer moss is a lichen, by the way, not a moss. So I'm going to pick a little bit of this and let's have a closer look. American wild foods guru Green Dean says you should only ever eat untreated lichen in an extreme survival situation, because though it won't kill you, you will probably wish that it had have done. It can cause bowel upsets and a lot of rather severe problems. We have several that are treatable: the reindeer moss, the best of which being the Icelandic moss, and also the witch's beard, which the witch's beard, you can nibble on it. They all contain carbohydrates, various vitamins. Not very tasty. The way you treat them, you can soak them for a couple of days in either wood ash or baking soda, then rinse them thoroughly, and then they should be okay to eat. Also, another obvious use of the witch's beard is as a tinder. The problem with it is it absorbs a lot of moisture from the atmosphere, and I would guess I probably won't be able to get this to light. In the winter it's great. In the winter, when it's cold weather, there's no moisture in the atmosphere, then this makes an awesome tinder. Well, let's see. It's been raining the last couple of days. I really didn't expect that to work. Not only did it light, I also struggle to put it out. Wow. While we're talking tinder, birch bark is one of the more popular ones. We also have a lot of heather on the ground layer, which to my mind makes one of the better teas. I'm also rather partial to juniper. I can't see any here. The pine needle tea is obviously one of the better known ones. The mammals we have here, and on this little hill in particular, we have a lot of Arctic hare, or mountain hare as we like to call them back in England. Here it doesn't particularly live in the mountains, it lives in lowland forest and a lot of other places. It'll come into the centre of towns and villages even. We also have elk or moose, whichever you want to call it. For the Americans, what you call elk, we call wapiti. This is changing. Everybody's calling elk moose nowadays. I'm just a bit awkward and old-fashioned, you know. We also have, in this hill in particular, we have a lot of roe deer, like a lot of roe deer. And they've only come into the area in the last few years. Naturally, they shouldn't be able to survive here. They have short little legs, which don't cope well with deep snow for escaping from predators. But seeing as most of the predators have been exterminated, we still have some bears, but obviously when there's deep snow they're hibernating. And also we have snowmobile trails and roads, so the roe deer they can get around no problem, and the population is expanding a lot. And in the winter time I've seen so many tracks around here. They seem to like it in particular around the town. I suppose there's an explanation for that. More snowmobile tracks, more roads, more food, less possibility of any predators. Yeah, well, we do have a few bears. Wolverines are occasional, but in this lynx as well. But in this immediate area, we're really far too close to the village, and you have to go somewhere quite remote to get any kind of large predators. We do, however, have pine martins. We have a lot of birds. Not so many in the winter. You'll occasionally see golden eagle here. We have white-tailed sea eagle a little bit further away, a place called Kilpisjärvi. They are seen around there. Lots of common birds, like wood sandpiper, pied flycatcher. Yeah. Wow. And sometimes human beings, I can hear voices. That was rather strange. That was an old Finnish couple, and they started talking about birds. This was in Finnish, and my Finnish is really rather bad. But they brought up one bird that I'd forgotten to tell you about, which is the kukali, the Siberian jay, which the channel's named after. And that's a very cheeky local bird who likes to hang around campsites and try and scrounge food. They're very, very intelligent, and they're also hereabouts seen as being a lucky bird. They bring good luck, particularly in hunting, which I guess is why they're so cheeky. and why they get so much food. But they don't bring luck with fishing. I really do know that from experience. Last year's lingonberries. Sometimes this time of year, because they've been frozen all winter, these things are sometimes still good to eat. Not bad. This is Labrador tea. It doesn't look very well, but neither would you, as if you'd just been frozen for 6 months. In North America they use Labrador tea for, obviously, making tea, hence the name. But the European Labrador tea is actually toxic. It can cause kidney failure in extreme cases. What it is useful for is you can stand it in vodka for a few weeks, and then the vodka acts as a good mosquito repellent. The Bronze Age remains of Ötzi the Iceman that was found in the Alps many years ago was found along with 3 species of mushroom that all grow on birch, and I can see 2 of them from where I'm standing now. This one is horse's hoof, and this one is a very unhealthy looking birch polypore. Ötzi's 3 mushrooms were chaga or tinder fungus, horse's hoof or false tinder fungus, and birch polypore. The first 2 obviously are used as a tinder. Birch polypore, he had some intestinal problems, and it's still to this day used to treat intestinal problems, so he could have used it for that. It can also be charred and made into a tinder, which the process for horse's hoof is quite a bit more complicated than just charring, but it can also be charred. That's a whole video in its own right, but as if I don't make one, there's plenty out there, so yeah, you don't have to wait. Birch polypore can also be used as a plaster. You can cut it into strips and wrap it around a wound, a plaster, a band-aid. And also I like to use it to strop my knives, so you can cut it into thin sections and you can press them a little, leave it to dry, glue it to a board, and it makes a good strop. And I can hear waxwings. First waxwings of the year, that's nice. The chaga is a very important fungus. It's used for everything from a wood dye to a potential cure for cancer. It's found growing in this area. It's not uncommon. I didn't think I'd be finding it on this little walk. I expected to find the other 2 birch, Ötzi fungi, because they're really common. Chaga, it has all kinds of medicinal properties. We generally drink it as a tea round here. It's also an exceptional tinder. So definitely warrants a video all of its own, if I can find some. I'm not about to win Wildlife Cameraman of the Year, but as if you can make out the bird, that's kukali. That's a Siberian jay. There's actually 4 of them knocking around, but this one's just close enough for me to get some kind of an image with my phone. Sphagnum moss. Antiseptic, absorbent, Been used as a wound dressing for many years. Used by the Inuit for nappy linings. Quite frequently used by me as a substitute for toilet paper. Useful stuff. These holes in this tree, that's from the three-toed woodpecker, a tiger forest speciality, not really found anywhere else. Okay guys, so that's what the Lapland forest looks like. I hope you've enjoyed the video and found it educational. Maybe some of you have been here, maybe some of you live here, you've maybe not learned very much. But yeah, there's definitely scope for a lot more videos with a lot of the plants and animals that I've gone over very briefly in this video. Well, I don't think I'll be doing a video about any of the animals. I don't quite have the camera equipment for that. But yeah, I hope you've enjoyed the video. Please feel free to like, subscribe, and thanks again for joining me. I'll see you all again next time. Bye for now. American Wild Food Group. Oh, shit. American Wild Foods Group. American Wild Food Guru Green Dean says that eating lichen, you shouldn't do it unless absolutely necessary, because American Wild Food Guru Green Dean says you should only ever